Hello and welcome to our last lecture of this training session of Adobe Photoshop CC from 0 to Pro. So the last lecture will be about creating an object, an icon, or what you want to say it, that will use almost every tool that we have used in this training of our Adobe Photoshop. So you can see that we have different layers here, a bunch of layers, and these layers are making this icon. I don't know what to say, it's hard to say goodbye, but it is a part of life. So let's start here. I will just create a group out of here. Right click here, Control G, and we'll hide this group. So I will select, or I will start by creating a rounded rectangle with the radius of 25. You can play with this radius. You can set it to 30, 40, 50, 20, 15 according to the object of your need. So I will create a nice round rectangle here and fill it with some colors so we can see it. Okay, so for the next step, let me increase its size a bit. That look nice. So for the next step, just Command J, Control J to duplicate it, or right click here and select the duplicate layer option. Now select this duplicate layer and click on this direct selection tool and drag from bottom and select these 4 nodes and press the up key a few times. So we can have a bottom area here. Now do for the right side and count the steps that you move from here to here so that you can move a exact step from this side. So I will say that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, 10 steps from here. Select these nodes 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Then out from this side and 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. Okay, also change the color of this rectangle so that we can differentiate. Now double click on this rectangle, click on gradient overlay, select. Okay, the angle is 0. Okay, the angle should be set to 0. Click on foreground to background and select from darker gray to a lighter gray color. Click OK, click OK, and click OK. As for this upper layer, double click on this layer and select gradient overlay. Again, select a bit darker color for this one and also another darker color for this side. So click here and this one here will be done. Okay, also you have to add some stroke that will be for inside, and size I think 10 will look nice on this one. Click OK, and the major part is done over here, if you can see. Okay, the layer is below this layer. So now comes the tricky part. Let me turn off this layer, and now we have to create this portion over here. So grab your pen tool, make sure that the shapes are selected, fill color can be anything, and make sure that you have selected the new layer options here. Start by clicking anywhere, press the shift key and click, and do not release the mouse click, and just slightly make a curve at the inside. Alt click here and now press the shift click key to move it diagonally. Control 3, shift click, no. Shift and click. What are you doing, man? Okay, now again shift click over here and shift click again on diagonally and shift click here. Do not release the mouse and just make a slight curve over here. Again alt click to break the curve and click here to close. Now let me zoom in this one. Now you have to make few adjustments here. Click on direct selection tool and first of all drag a guideline from here and adjust it and move your nodes to match this guideline. Okay, and also adjust the curve so that it will not look bad. Again move this over here and make a slight curve. I think this will come inside and the curve will look nice. Come inside and curve. Okay, this curve is looking nice. Root should also come inside like this. Okay, and the curve will look nice when we go like this. I think I'm going to look. This one is looking a bit bad. I think I will stick with this one. Okay, move this layer to the very bottom of every layer so that it can hide behind the why not happy with this layer. Okay, now I'm happy with this layer. So this object is moved behind these layers. So now let's look how it is looking. I think it has to be a stretch a bit. Plus Control T and stretch it a bit. Okay, now it's looking nice. Except for this line, I think it is okay. It is also aligned. So Control H to hide this. Double click on this layer and add gradient overlay. And this time we are going to add few stops, but before this we have to change its angle to 90. Click here, and for the bottom I will go for a lighter color. Again add a new stop here and make this stop a bit darker color. Okay, again add new stop here and make this stop a very light color, very much light. And again the last node will be also somewhat darker. Okay, move this white slider to bit so it can come down. Move this to here and move it here, undo it, and move the nodes of this slider a bit here and change its color to the light one. Okay, why you are still showing, why you're still dark. Okay, so basically the shape is done over here. What else we can do is we can click on here and click add anchor point, so we can have another point here and just drag this point a bit here so that it can have a bit curve over here. Now what you have to do is you just have to click on the alt key and press the up down arrow key, select this layer and press the alt key and press the down key a few times, and you can see that this is now getting some grip over here. Now press the shift key and click on every layer except for the first layer and press the Control E key, and this will merge all the layers. And now double click on this one, click on gradient overlay. Now change angle to 0 and click OK first and move it below this actual layer. Now we have this layer over here, the gradient overlay, and we will remove this node here. Okay, just make a 3-step gradient over here. The first step will be darker gray. Okay, the second corner will also be darker and the middle node will have some lighter color. Okay, and we can have some drop shadow so it can have some depth around here, and we can just adjust it by making it like this one, how thick we want it, and that's it. but you can see some parts are getting out from here. You can right click here and rasterize this layer to make it a raster object. So we can apply some eraser tool over here and erase everything that is getting out of here. And last but not the least, the Apple logo. We and drag it over here and just place it above every layer. Control T, Alt and Shift button, Command or Shift, drag it down, and here you have it. As for the shine layer, command click on this layer so we can have selection as we have done in our what's the name of that lecture, the hard disk icon. Select the polygon lasso tool, press the Alt T, click and click and click and click and close. So now we have selected the white color. Go on the gradient, select the foreground to transparent option and drag it here. No, drag it here. Yes, and decrease the opacity. Press the command D key, and here you have it. You have your Mac icon that is in front of you. If you are not happy with this one, you can change the colors, gradient overlay, select this gradient and change this gradient to a bit darker color so that it can have some grid. Okay, so that's it for our trainings. And as I have said before, that this is our last lecture, and that's not mean that we are done here. You can email me if you have any queries, and you can open the discussion board and we will discuss any problem you are facing over there, and I'm happy to help. And again, I'm going to launch another professional course for professional photographers or graphic designers or editors that are, what I can say, yes. And I'm also going to launch some Xcode training for beginners or the one who do not have any coding experience. And I hope you will all join the lecture too. So that's it for our training, and goodbye.